New post. So for me, I don't have a reformer in the house, and for many of us, a reformer is not possible. If you do happen to have some TheraBands or any larger bands, however, you can emulate some of the single leg hip work, including some of the work that you might do on a tower. So I have this set up around the legs of my 2 benches, which are pulled taut with the front of our table. And I'm going to lift it up as high as it will go, which is about where the reformer straps would originate from. Now on the tower, the springs would go up higher. So you could play with where you would choose to put these springs. I'm gonna start, not springs, but the band, with my arms straight back. So I'm in arm's distance width away. You could also do goalpost distance width away. You could place a little towel behind your head if you chose. And I'm going to choose to place my hands down by my sides. You could softly place your hands above. I find that tends to lead to a rib flare for me in particular, meaning I'm here and my back might arch. So I'm really gonna work to find my neutral spine. And I'm also gonna place this loop closer towards my heel. This leg could be bent with your foot planted flat on the floor, or you could choose to extend that leg long and point the toe away, which is what I'm going to do. I've been spinning a lot, and so that's gonna release this hip flexor and put my hip into a little bit of extension. So I'm gonna exhale, press out, and inhale. Try to keep my knee aligned with my hip and shoulder, and I'm gonna think that I am just pressing something imaginary away. My pelvis is staying squared, and I want to think that I could balance a cup of water on my pelvis. Bottom rib is pulled down and in, little space between that mat and your lumbar spine. So your goal would be to do about 8 to 10 of these. I'm going to stop at 5, and then we'll lift this leg up, resist the lift up, and lower down to where you can keep your cup of water balanced on your pelvis. So what you don't want, I'm going to show you the no. You don't want the spine rolling back flat and then arching your back, and spine rolling back flat and arching. This is really slow and controlled, and you're using the abdominals and the hamstrings to control that range. We can go into a little bit of a bicycle here. And you can bring that knee back as far as you can maintain your neutral spine, meaning I'm not gonna let my back or my pelvis roll back and let my spine flatten. That one was a little jerkier. So this resistance is actually pretty heavy. I would compare it to a purple spring. The yellow springs, and those are the balanced body ones, tend to be lighter, which would challenge your pelvic lumbar stability a little more. And we'll reverse for 5 and press out. I'm just going to show this with one leg so that you guys get an idea. And then I've also figured out a way to do some sideline work as well as spinal articulation. So these would be some options for your single leg work. Another, if you want to make it more about leg work, you could take that bent knee in, bridge up, hold your bridge, push out and in a few times. So I'll just do 3. Leg can lift and lower 3 times. Again, you're trying to keep the pelvis squared. I really like to add a windshield wiper here, keeping those hips level. And of course, some little pulses to burn out the glute on the side where the foot is planted into the floor. Now, if you want to add in a little spinal articulation, you can take those toes back towards the nose, curl, lift up, tap those toes behind you, inhale, lift. You're trying to keep those toes over the shoulder girdle and slowly roll down through the spine for a jackknife variation. Inhale to 45, take it back to 90, continuing to inhale, and then exhale, let those toes float back. Use the spine to push down into the mat, use the abs to lift. Inhale, tap the toes. Exhale, lift up, and inhale or exhale to control that lower down. You can play with a bent knee, curling up, taking the toes up, bend the knees to 90, and roll it down. So a little bit like a short spine, or inhale those legs back. Exhale, curl, lift up. Inhale to 90. Let the thighs soften towards the chest for a little short spine variation. The last thing I'm going to show is the sideline hip work. You can be propped up onto an elbow, or your ear can rest on your bicep. Pick what works for you. Flexed foot, you're going to try to keep that strap from hitting your shoulder, pressing that foot away. Bending in, I'm going to keep that strap right above my knee, or you could go right in line with the knee. I've got the experience to know that that's about where you would feel it hit on the reformer. And then take that leg forward. You might have to set your head down for this one and pull it back. So you're flexing at the crease of that hip. Little space stays underneath that oblique. Hips stay stacked. Inhale forward. Think sliding something away across the floor. Good, you could go circles here. You could lift and lower, lift and lower. It's hard to not let your hip externally rotate, and you can lift and lower here. Be careful not to hit yourself in the face when you slide that strap off. I'd love to see you guys give this a try. If you have the equipment at home, please tag me in your post if you try it. And if you have anything to add to it, please share your movement. No idea is good unless it's shared. And now is the time to share our level of creativeness. Have a great day, you guys.